Hello, I'm Simon Whistler. You're watching TopTenzNet, and in the video today, we're looking at the top 10 English words that have surprisingly shameful pasts. Words. Some of us interact with them almost every day. They are inexpensive, they're portable, and they let us communicate our feelings rather well. Sure, you could always come up to someone and repeatedly jam your finger through a circle made of your other hand while furiously raising and lowering your eyebrows, but words are so much more efficient. Unfortunately, it turns out that some of the words that we thought we could trust were lying to us about who they really are. Just like finding out that lovable elderly man from down the street used to be a Nazi. So we're sure that the origin of these 10 English words is going to surprise you.
Number 10. Wife. There is something inherently wholesome about the word wife, isn't there? It makes you think of love, weddings, and picket fences, or perhaps wife swapping, depending on your preferred lifestyle. You know, the good things in life. There's definitely nothing shameful about being a wife, or is there? The precise origin of the word is uncertain, though some linguists have suggested that it might come from the root Gibberish, which means shame, as in, dear God, look at yourself, woman, you are married to me of all people. You should be ashamed of yourself. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how we got the word. Number 9. Sidekick. From Batman's Robin to George Washington's knife-wielding pet chimpanzee, sidekicks have always had a special place in our culture. But where did the word itself come from? Is it because a sidekick is someone you gently kick in the side when the press arrives so you can hoggle the glory? Allegedly, the word goes back to pickpockets who used their own secret lingo to identify different types of pockets. The pocket on the side of your pants was called the kick or sidekick, and it was the most difficult place to steal from. So with time, a sidekick became someone or something trustworthy which is always by your side. Number 8. Gibberish. Gibberish, for the uninformed, is basically a strain of nonsensical, meaningless talk or writing. Sort of like your biology teacher telling you that unless you put a rubber sleeping bag over your junk, you will catch some magical disease that causes you to die from the common cold or something. And what's the origin of the word? Racism. Gibberish probably comes from jabber, which early on became a word used to describe the language of gypsies, who sounded totally ridiculous speaking a language other than English. Then one day gypsy and jabber kind of got married up and we got gibberish, the nonsensical rambling of gypsies. Classy. Number 7. Decimate. Unless you're a World War II commander or the type of kid who got beat up in school a lot, you probably don't use the word decimate that much, but you probably know what it means, basically. It's like to kill or destroy, right? Close. It's actually more like to greatly reduce in quantity, as in, during my college days, I decimated my entire weed supply in just a week. Surprisingly, the original meaning of the word had nothing to do with large-scale destruction or reduction. Rather, the ancient Roman decimatio, from which decimate comes from, meant the removal of a tenth. What were the Romans removing? People. Decimation used to be a punishment for cities or armies where 1 in 10 people was picked out in a draw and had to be beaten to death by the remaining 9, aka their friends and family. Why? Because that's how the ancient Romans rolled. Number 6. Cretin. Were you alive at any point in history past 1900? Chances are you were called a cretin at least once by the playground kids. Alongside fart face and penis butt, kids can be really cruel and stupid at the same time. Today, we're of course aware that cretinism is a genuine medical condition, but how did the word come about? Christmas might have been the answer. One of the proposed origins for cretin is Christanius, a vulgar Latin term meaning a Christian, but more in the sense of unfortunate person. You're free to make any religious joke you want, but personally, I'm just impressed how apparently easy it is to speak in Latin. Number 5. Punk. When you hear the word punk, you almost certainly think of punk rock, but before Sum 41 invented this genre of music, what did the word mean? What or who was a punk? The answer? Whores. That's right, the original meaning of punk, first recorded in the 16th century, was harlot or prostitute. Of course, words tend to change, and so did punk. After a couple of years, it slowly changed its meaning from hooker to homosexual. In fact, the modern definition of young criminal did not surface until about 100 years ago. This kind of puts the Sex Pistols' name in perspective, doesn't it? Number 4. Jukebox. The modern abandonment of the idea that you should pay money for music has forced the good old jukebox out of existence. For those of you too young to remember, a jukebox was something like a big coin-operated iPod. You could find them in bars and clubs all across the country. If you go by the original meaning of the word, you would think to look for them in whorehouses. There are a number of theories about the origin of the word juke, but the most interesting one traces the word to the West African Gula language word juk, which meant, among other things, a brothel, if used in the word juke house. Number 3. Vanilla. Vanilla is awesome, isn't it? It smells nice, it tastes nice, and it even looks nice. But despite all that, I would sincerely hope that none of you ever felt the urge to, have sex with a vanilla plant, even though its name does mean vagina. Upon its discovery, vanilla was named vanilla, which goes all the way back to the Latin vagina, and not vaginus, as you would logically assume, which itself means sheath. Allegedly, the discovering party felt that the vanilla pods were sort of a sheath-shaped pod, and hey, they hadn't seen a woman for months, and really, well, who would know, right? Number 2. Pencil. To any hack comedian, the word pencil is a genuine goldmine of funny because it shares 3 entire letters and the basic shape with penis. The jokes just write themselves. Therefore, I'm happy to ruin it all by saying that the observation is not clever in the least because pencil does basically mean penis. There is a whole boring genealogy of the word to go through, but in the end it all comes down to the Latin word penis, which meant tail, because that's where the material for the pencil's predecessor, the brush, came from. Combine that with the fact that pencils are made from wood, and you should start panicking over your pencil biting habits in 3, 2, 1. Number 1. Hysteric. Let's talk about hunting homeless people for sport. You know how you have that one friend whom you take along on the hunt and who immediately starts panicking right after the deed, like, oh god, what have we done? We're going to jail and I won't survive with this body, etc. That's called being hysteric, or as the origin of the word might tell you, acting like a woman. Hysteric comes from the Greek hysterikos, which means belonging to the womb. So when you're acting hysterical, it means you're acting as if you had a womb or as a woman with your uncontrolled emotions like women are prone to. Am I right, guys?
So, I really hope you enjoyed that video about the shocking origins of some English words. If you have others that you think we missed, do let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And also, if you did enjoy this video, do give us a like, a thumbs up. Just click that icon below now. And also, don't forget to subscribe because we put out brand new content just like this, 7 days a week. Also, over there on the right, a couple of other videos related to language that you'll probably enjoy if you enjoy this one. One is it's a controversial one. It's trying to be a bit funny, but we can see why it has such a high like to dislike ratio. It's the top 10 reasons not to study Chinese. Below that, we've got the top 10 times that literature inspired real-life violence. And I know if you're on a mobile, you can't click on any of these, so there will be links in the description below. And thanks for watching.